Hi, it's the first day of February. Time to turn your calendars over. And this is your daily devotion. So let's begin February with a small question. What is the meaning of life? Yeah, that's a small question, isn't it? I guess we spend our lives kind of trying to figure that out. And of course, we who know Jesus, we have a great advantage. As I read the Beatitudes, Matthew 5, the sermon that Jesus was giving that seems so simple and yet so mysterious in some ways. What does it mean? I realized that Jesus, in the masterful way that he spoke, was speaking to us about the meaning of life. I'll read the Beatitudes. Matthew 5, beginning in verse 1. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him, and he began to speak, and he taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Well, in the book that we're studying on Wednesdays, the Jesus I Never Knew, I love the thoughts that Yancey pulls together about the many layers. We could teach a very long series on the meanings of the Beatitudes. But one meaning that really hits home with me, Yancey talks about, and I see it in my work at Still Waters, helping folks who are struggling in so many ways. And, you know, it's 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. And sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 2 steps backwards. And, you know, to be honest, sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards. There's so many things that can get in the way of what feels like is supposed to be the meaning of life: success, happiness, stuff, paying your bills, and all the things that we as a society emphasize and put a lot of importance upon. I once had a friend, somebody I'd kind of grown up with, hadn't seen him in a while, and he knew about the ministry that we do at Still Waters. And so we were standing in line at a store, and he said, you're wasting your time. And I said, oh, standing here waiting for this medicine I was in line for? He said, no, what you're doing with helping these poor people, he said, you're wasting your time. You're not making any difference. He was dead serious. He wasn't trying to be ugly. He was just like, what you're doing is useless. You're not making any difference. And I don't remember what I said. I'm not sure that I said anything. I may have said, well, I guess that's your perspective. I don't know. But I thought, you don't understand. You don't understand. And so rather than going through all of my thought processes, I'm going to read you some of what Yancey said about the Beatitudes, and I think it speaks very well to this issue of what is important, what matters. Yancey suggests, after speaking of many levels of meaning in the Beatitudes, he said, not only does Jesus offer an ideal to strive toward, appropriate rewards, in heaven, not only Did he turn the tables on a success-addicted society? You know, what is blessed, what is important? He also set forth a plain formula of psychological truth, the deepest level of truth we can know on the earth. The Beatitudes reveal that what succeeds in the kingdom of heaven also benefits us the most in the life here and now. And then I'm going to skip down and read a little bit more. Yancey said in his career as a journalist, he's had opportunities to interview stars, football greats, movie actors, and so forth, TV personalities. These are the people that dominate the media. We fawn over them, poring over the minutiae of their lives, the clothes they wear, the food they eat, the aerobic routines they follow, the people they love, the toothpaste they use. Yet I tell you, in my limited experience, our idols are as miserable a group of people as I have ever met. Most have troubled or broken marriages. Nearly all are incurably dependent on psychotherapy. In a heavy irony, these larger-than-life heroes seem tormented by self-doubt. And then, skipping down, he speaks about the people that he calls servants, doctors and nurses who work among ultimate outcasts, leprosy patients in rural India, a Princeton graduate who runs a hotel for the homeless in Chicago, health workers who have left high-paying jobs to serve in a backwater town of Mississippi, relief workers in Somalia, Sudan, Ethiopia, Bangladesh, other repositories of human suffering, the PhDs that he met in Arizona who were doing a translation of the Bible, and they were taking all of their knowledge and their education and their opportunities to translate the Bible in very remote lands and live in poverty. He said, I was prepared to admire these servants, to hold them up as inspiring examples. I was not prepared to envy them. Then he said, without question, I would rather spend my time among the servants than among the stars. They possess qualities of depth and richness and even joy that I have not found elsewhere. Servants work for low pay, long hours, and no applause, wasting their talents and skills among the poor and the uneducated. Somehow, though, in the process of losing their lives, they find them. You know it's true when you help somebody, or when you are a part of something that you know makes a difference, or when you see that God is working through you, when you realize that there's a purpose in whatever you're doing, even if you can't see the outcome. There is joy in that. There is an abiding energy and peace in that. Missionaries that live in the worst conditions are some of the happiest people that you will ever meet. I'm not saying we all need to go to a far away country and live in poverty, but you know, there are opportunities. So I pray that you get an opportunity to live out the Beatitudes. However, that comes to you. A lot of you have already done that, and I thank you for that. Whoever would lose their life, who is willing to lose their life, will find it. Have a great day.